I look around and I realize God left this place a long time ago.
I gave seminars on manipulation. I could reach into a man's soul and unravel it with one tug. Cool. Hit me. You're bull.
So are you?
I'll kill you, you...
You're wearing protective goggles to destroy my car? Safety first!
If you did 20% of the work and got 80% of the results, wouldn't you do it? Well, Stephanie Miller wrote the book on it. How to Save the Planet the 80-20 Way. Let's hear some tips on how to save the planet right now on The Al Travis Show.
Love having her on the program. She is Stephanie Miller, the 80-20 Way. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Al. How are you? Happy
I'm doing
holiday season.
well. Yeah, gluttonous season, as you like to call it in the waste management world. Actually, it was recycle day today. Went out last night because it's like 125 below zero. Honest, that's the temperature.
Yeah.
So I knew it was coming last night. So I put the recycling out yesterday.
Yeah.
But I knew you were coming on. It's like my bonus day. Stephanie's on, and I put recycling out. I feel good about me.
All in. So your recycling day is every Thursday?
Every other Thursday. See, this
every
is
other
okay.
Thursday.
This is the money problem. It's the first and third Thursday of every month, which
okay.
every few months you'll get an added Thursday thrown in, which then half the town will put it out there and it's the wrong day and then things spill. It's just do it every other week. Every other Thursday, we'll pay the difference. It's just, they make it hard and they shouldn't. So it was.
Yeah, interesting.
Now
but I love the fact that I coincide sometimes at least with your recycling day. That's great.
It makes me think of you. Then
You
the
get
other
to think
thing,
of me twice in one day.
well, it's more than that because our last time we chatted, you put the kibosh, the squeeze on me. Remember all the random metal that I had in the garage that I've been kind of keeping, and you said you got to drive it down to Elmore and get her, taken care of.
What did you do?
Well, I didn't drive down to Elmore and get it taken care of. However, and this is where you'll love me, I got a guy. This guy does a lot of handiwork around the place, and we have a deck that's kind of got some issues, and he was over. He and his son looking to see what it talk, how to fix this deck. And we're going through the garage, and I said, "Oh, good God, I mentioned you."
Oh.
Stephanie Miller says I got to take this down to Elmore.
It was not in a negative, under your breath.
It was under my breath. I don't think it was negative. It was
Miller. I'm sure it was in a really positive way. Like, I know this great gal, and she told me.
No, it was just, oh God, Stephanie, that's right. So anyhow, I'm talking to him because I got to get rid of this thing here, and you could see in my garage this bent up garbage paint thing, the garbage can that rusted out, and it's sitting there folded up because I'm ready to throw it in my truck and take it off.
Yeah.
He goes, you just got to throw that in my truck. I said, what do you mean? He goes, because of all this work they do, we're down in Elmore once a week. As soon as we get the truck filled, we head her down there. Just says throw it in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
I said, well, I got that, and I have this, and I have that, and I got rid of my entire stash of crap. Wow. And he hauled her down to Elmore, and it didn't take me nothing. Boom. Wow. Win-win.
Yes. It does help to know a guy. I know a guy too, and he's in the construction business, and he's a good friend of mine. And so when I have to admit that when I collect a certain volume of scrap metal, I give it to him. I mean, he takes it in his truck because he's there all the time, as you said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's like one of his go-to places. Well, yay. That must feel great though.
Well, it did. I didn't know if it was cheating because I promised you I'd take her down there, but it's like, oh my God, is that enough to throw in the truck to make it worth my time?
No.
And I was going to push it off and I was going to be embarrassed. And then this guy comes in my life. Boom. Thanks, Pat Murphy, by the way, Murphy Construction.
Yeah. Boom. I mean, you took care of it. Fewer greenhouse gas emissions because you don't have to make a special trip. This guy's going anyway. He's already at your place. You get A+ on that one.
Well, and what's funny is like, I'm sure this was this massive amount of money that you would get from this. I mean, I've got 5 or 6 pieces of scrap metal. I'm sure it was hundreds of dollars. That's probably about $3. Like, that's
the shocking thing. Yeah.
I thought I was going to have a lottery win here. That's probably about $3. Like, just take it. Not good.
We removed my uncle who passed away last year. We removed the railroad bridge that he, as kind of a fun project, had installed. It was decommissioned and he installed it at his home. And we needed to get rid of it in Colorado. And we had it hauled away. And it was, I don't know how many tons. And it was just, a couple $100. So don't feel bad about your small pile only being worth $3.
Well, I thought you'd be happy, so I thought about you, and I knew about Trash Day Today, and I knew you were going to be on the show. So that's 3 times I've thought about you. Wow, this week.
Wow. Okay.
You made Millet. Thank you.
Yay.
I can't even say there'd be more than that. Man, have you been on my mind? Because Thanksgiving came, and it was back to all the things we talked about, bringing containers that you could take what you wanted back and not overcooking. We did really well with that, to be quite frank, with the 30-some people who were there. I was watching that.
Yeah.
And everybody brought something, and they could carry it back with it. It was really quite cool. We were impressed.
Is that because you told them to do that?
No, it's just the first time I paid attention. This is not something I would have noticed. I presume they just are regular doers that way.
Maybe they listen to your show.
Oh, we can't count on that.
That's possible, Al.
It is possible. We'll see. So anyway, it was a good week. Yours? How did your Thanksgiving go?
It went so well. We had my sister hosted, which is always a lovely thing because she knows how to make a turkey. And I did bring, no, I forgot my containers, but my sister still had containers at her house from the last time I dropped stuff off. So I used those. We had family staying with us. We ate leftovers for 3 days. They were gone. We were I was happy. No food waste.
Good.
Just
That
a
makes
lot of
things
fun. Yeah.
That's very cool.
And remember we talked about the sweet potato casserole or whatever your equivalent of the thing that you don't want to
yam,
eat?
sweet. No. Ugh.
My sister didn't eat, it's her dish. She didn't even have the pretense. Nobody had the pretense of trying to take some of it home because maybe they would eat it to be polite. She just immediately said, I know nobody eats this except for me. I'll just keep it. Don't worry.
Well, that's good news because then they say that whole I feel horrible about it. But pecan pie or pumpkin, which is the right answer?
Pecan is the right answer.
Thank you. See,
my
you can tell so much
here.
about a person. Yeah.
She came from Tallahassee and she brought 2 bags of pecans and she made 2 pecan pies and they were so delicious. And again, the pretense of, should we order pumpkin pie because it's Thanksgiving? Everyone was like, does anyone want a pumpkin pie? Nobody voted yes. So we had no pumpkin pies.
See, I feel that you are doing your ancestors a disservice with this.
Oh.
Because when I was discussing the pecan/pumpkin pie debate in my home, my daughter-in-law made the pies, and she made some because half wanted pumpkin and half wanted the pecan. And I told her straight up, just make the pecan. It's the only true real pie that anybody really loves. The pumpkin pie, if you look back in history, Stephanie, was literally a way of saving waste.
Yeah.
These old guys were raising pumpkins for no good reason. They had them. They're sitting around as decoration. Like, we can't just throw them out. And they found a way of eating them. Doesn't make them good. It's the same thing with the yam in my book. It doesn't make them good. But the pecan, that was never meant to be pie. Someone said, boy, if you made this into a pie, look what can happen. And it was they invented the pie to become the pecan, not the other way around. You do your people a disservice. I think you almost have to eat pumpkin pie just so there are less pumpkins being thrown out at the end of the year.
I'll tell you what, Al. If you eat pumpkin pie, I'll eat pumpkin pie.
Okay, world's going to heck in a handbasket. I'm feeding my pumpkins to the deer.
I hear, I hear you on the waist though, and I have a really good friend who makes, I don't like pumpkin pie, but she makes the most delicious pumpkin muffins out of the pumpkins that we don't use, and boy, those I can eat. They taste kind of like, spice, whatever, when you buy
they
banana
put a lot of
bread
cinnamon
or
in there.
carrot cake and you can't really tell the difference because it's got sugar in it.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's delicious.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. We got to go to break. I got to talk to you a little bit about Christmas because I read a story and again thought about, boy, you've been on my mind lately. Story about Christmas trees.
Okay.
Because of the tariffs and stuff, the artificials are going through the roof as far as costs.
So to
a lot of
speak.
people switching over to, thank you. A lot of people switching over to the real stuff. We'll find out what's best for the environment right after this with Stephanie Miller, the 80/20 Way.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist. You need a partner.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
It's nice to know a guy that knows a guy. Al Travis.
We've got her, Stephanie Miller, the 80-20 way, and that's if you did 20% of the work, got 80% of the results, and save the planet at the same time. When you do it, of course you would. That brings up these moral dilemmas that I come up with a lot. Read a story that because of the tariffs, price of the imported fake trees is going through the roof. So a lot of people are deciding they're going to go get themselves, a live tree. Well, it wouldn't be live, a dead one. So the question comes to you, because I know what we do in my household. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong because I don't know. What does Stephanie Miller do in her household? Because that would be the right answer. You know?
So, the right answer is not necessarily on this subject what Stephanie does in her own household.
Wait a minute. Is this part of that 80% you're not doing? Okay, give me, what do you do?
Okay, so I just want you to know, I wrote a book on zero waste living, and so you can imagine on my social media probably looks a lot different than yours. This time of year, this question about real or fake trees, what's more sustainable, is like you can't open up your social media without someone writing about this. So I just want you to know, this like fills my head a lot and therefore feeds my guilt a lot because of what we do in our household. So we buy a tree every year, a live tree. I suppose you could say dead tree, but it's
cut it off.
Still sort of living until we compost it. We do compost it at the end. And it's a really tough call on, what's more sustainable? Definitely the answer is if you already have a fake tree, which you do, Al.
Yes.
Right? If you already have a fake tree, the most sustainable thing is to use that fake tree every year. And if you're getting decades of use out of it, that is the right answer. If you do not have a fake tree,
ours came down to real quick. We first started with the live tree thing. And then as soon as you start getting children and dogs, it's like, you know what? This isn't going to work. We went out and spent some money, quality money on a fake tree, and we have had it for in 25 years, I suppose. We've been
Right.
using fake for that long. So I get that, but here's my dilemma. It is multi-use, but I mean, for what, 2 weeks a year, for 30 years, whatever. Fine. I get that. And maybe my kids will take it someday off my hands when I'm gone. But the live tree thing, and that's what Stephanie Miller is using, tree spends 8-10 years trying to get to its perfect size. Now, it's living as you cut her down. 2 weeks later, she's in a trash bin somewhere waiting to be recycled. Is there really no consensus on what's better for the planet? Well, I suppose the tree guy's planting one right in its spot. I mean, it's not like...
They're planting 2, basically, for every one that's cut down. From a climate change perspective, it's not terrible from what I've read because of the way the replacement rate at which they're grown. So you're not...
Okay.
Anyway, you're not... we say in the climate change world that when a tree is growing, you're sequestering carbon. That tree is sucking the carbon in. And when you cut it down, obviously it's not anymore. But because of the way generally they do this 2-for-1 replacement, it's okay. The problem is the pesticides. Remember when we talk about Valentine's Day and flowers? So if you can find an organic tree farm, that's a better option if you're going to get a live tree. And then the best option, which I've been trying to do for the last few years, and because of you, during the break, I looked this up. I've been trying to rent a live tree.
Oh, I've heard of this. It comes with the ball.
Potted,
yeah.
A potted Christmas tree. You keep it in the pot. You bring it back after you use it for 2 weeks. And I've never found one close by. But during the break, because I knew you wanted to talk about this, I found one that's at a farm called Crooked Creek Farm, and I looked it up. It's more than 2 hours away. So here's my brain. Like,
now you're
greenhouse
using
gas
gas.
emission-wise, does that make any sense? When we get off this radio show, I'm going to call and see if they deliver in DC anyway, then they're already making a trip. Maybe that's what I'll do this year.
You got too much going on in your head.
It will all be because of you.
Let me throw this out. I just want a warning to people because the last time, this might be why we have a plastic tree now, to be honest. Last time we had a real tree, got her out of the house, right? New Year's Day, whatever, we cleaned it. We got it out of the house. I set it out by the garage, which is out by our burn pit, by the way, our little, where we have s'mores and that sort of thing.
Right.
And I remember having all the kids around and the fire going. And I thought, what a great time to get rid of this old Christmas tree, which is brown as yet. And my wife goes, you better be careful. I said, what? It's just going to burn. It's a tree, for heaven's sakes. And I put the end tip of that thing in the fire. And I'm telling you, within a second, it went whoosh all the way down that tree.
Wow.
I'd got it into the, if you will, the burn pit. But the flames had to go 30, 40 feet in the air. We could have landed a plane.
Incredible.
It is exactly why houses burn at Christmas time. A real tree is a danger. You must keep moist. That thing is dry. And I'm telling you, it was the scariest thing ever. I was like, oh my God, I just ruined the neighborhood. I'd never seen anything go like that. You can watch videos of that online, by the way. They actually, not mine, but they have videos of it because it is unbelievable. Be careful out there, people.
I've read, beware of trying, don't burn your Christmas tree.
Yeah,
imagine if you did that in the fireplace. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
So
if it caught, you could see that if your tree caught on fire for whatever reason in the house, that the entire house is gone because I can never see anything go. Scared the bejesus out of me. That was 25 years ago. I still
well, I think this is a public service announcement, basically helping people get through Christmas without their house going in flames.
The rental tree business. I kind of think that's interesting that we would have that in America today.
Yeah,
that is a first world problem.
Unfortunately, not a lot, but I'll let you know if I manage to do it.
We're going to talk about your horrifying book. You get to the end. Don't tell me how it ends, and we'll talk about it in 2 weeks, all right?
Sounds good.
I love it. Stephanie Miller, The 80/20 Way. Go to zerowastendc.com and check her out today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Media and divisive noise drowning out